Hello, students. I am Sir Glenn, your subject teacher. Welcome to General Mathematics, Grade 11. We are still in our fourth module, which is all about exponential functions. Our third lesson under Module 4, Representations of Exponential Functions. Paano nga ba natin nare-represent ang isang exponential function? Malalaman natin yan under this lesson. Let's try to recall the definition of an exponential function. An exponential function is a function of the form f of x is equal to b raised to x, or y is equal to b raised to x, where the base b should always be greater than 0 and b should not be equal to 1. So exponential function siya kapag mayroon siyang exponent na variable which is x, and then mayroon din siyang base na hindi negative. Dapat mas malaki siya parati kay 0 at yung base ay hindi siya pwedeng mag-equal kay 1. Three ways of representing an exponential function. An exponential function can be represented through its table of values. These values, which are derived from its equivalent equation, are the basis in sketching its graph. So, ang tatlong paraan in representing an exponential function are through its table of values, through its equation, and through its graph. Okay? Identifying the type of function given its table of values. The table of values represents a linear function if the first differences of the y values are the same. So, linear function siya kapag nakita natin na ang first differences or yung result kapag pinag-subtract natin yung mga y values ng function na yan ay pareho. The table of values represents a quadratic function if the second differences of the y values are the same. So quadratic function yung given na table of values kapag nakita natin na ang pangalawang differences ng mga y values nito ay pareho. And lastly, the table of values represents an exponential function if the y values have common ratio. Ibig sabihin, exponential function siya kapag dinivide natin yung mga y values ng table of values na yan, nakita natin na ang quotient ay pareho. Okay, meron silang common ratio. So how do we do this? It will be shown in the example later. Example 1. Identify which type of function are the given table of values. A. We have this table of values. So looking at the x values, as you can see, consecutive numbers yung nasa x. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So take note, yung test na ito, yung test doon sa previous slide, para malaman kung linear function, quadratic function, or exponential function, applicable lang siya as long as consecutive numbers yung nasa x values natin. Just like in this example, kung consecutive numbers sila, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, as you can see, may pattern siya. So, pataas siya. Ibig sabihin, if we try to subtract 15 and 14, we have 15 minus 14 is 1. 14 minus 13 is 1. 13 minus 12 is 1. 12 minus 11 is 1. So, nakita natin na yung unang differences nila ay pareho. Ibig sabihin, this is a linear function. Okay? Item B, we have this table of values. So, as you can see in our x part, consecutive numbers, yung nandito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning we can use the shortcut method to identify whether this is a linear function, quadratic function, or exponential function. So let's try to identify their first differences muna. We have 24 minus 15 is 9, 15 minus 8 is 7, 8 minus 3 is 5, and 3 minus 0 is 3. So nakita natin na yung first differences nila ay magkaiba. So let's try to identify their second differences. We have 9 minus 7 is 2, 7 minus 5 is 2, 5 minus 3 is 2. Since nakita natin na yung second differences nila ay pareho, meaning this is a quadratic function. Okay? for item C, we have this table of values. So, as you can see, doon sa x values natin, consecutive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning we can use the shortcut method. So, by observing, hindi or mahihirapan tayong i-identify yung kanilang first differences, second differences kasi they are the similar functions. So let's try to identify muna kung pareho ba sila ng quotient if they have the same quotient or the so-called common ratio. So 1 all over 32 divided by 1 all over 62. So we have 1 all over 32 divided by 1 all over 16 is equal to 1 all over 32 times, we get the reciprocal of the divisor. 1 all over 16, the reciprocal is 16 all over 1. So 1 times 16 is 16. 32 times 1 is 32. So if we simplify this, we have 1 half. Yung quotient nilang dalawa ay 1 half. Pangalawa naman na pair, 1 divided by 16, 1 all over 16 divided by 1 all over 8. So we have 1 all over 16 times the reciprocal, which is 8 all over 1. 1 times 8 is 8. 16 times 1 is 16. So if we simplify this, we have 1 half. The third pair, 1 all over 8 divided by 1 fourth is equal to 1 all over 8 times the divisor, the reciprocal of the divisor. 1 fourth, the reciprocal is 4 all over 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 8 times 1 is 8. So if we simplify this, we have 1 half. So 1 half din yung kanyang quotient. The last pair, 1 fourth divided by 1 half is equal to 1 fourth times the reciprocal, which is 2 all over 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. So if we simplify this, 1 half din yung kanyang quotient. Since nakita natin na pareho sila ng ratio, they have the common ratio, therefore this is an exponential function. Okay? For the activity, you do this supplemental activity 3.1. Determine whether the following table of values exhibit an exponential function or not. Write EF if it is a table of values for an exponential function. Otherwise, write not EF. So here are the given table of values. We have 5 table of values. Example 2. Represent the exponential function given by f of x is equal to 2 raised to x using equation, table of values, and graph. For the solution, watch this video. In this example, we represent the exponential function given by f of x is equal to 2 raised to x using its equation, table of values, and graph. So the equivalent equation for this function, we just replace f of x using y. So we have y is equal to 2 raised to x. Yan ang ating equation. So for our TOV or our table of values, we use, of course, we construct our table here. So we have x and this will be y. So we use the values negative 3, we have negative 2, we have negative 1, then 0, 1, 2, and 3. So for us to obtain the values here, we substitute each x value to this variable x to the exponent. So if x is equal to negative 3, then we have y will be 2 raised to negative 3, or that is, since negative, applying the law of exponent, magiging positive siya, ibababa natin. So that will be 2 cubed is 8. So we have 1 all over 8. We write 1 all over 8 here. If x is equal to negative 2, then we have y is equal to 2 raised to negative 2. Applying again the negative exponent law, ibababa natin to make the exponent positive. We have 2 raised to 2, or that is 1 all over 4. Kasi 2 times 2 is 4. 1 all over 4. If x is equal to negative 1, then we have y is equal to 2 raised to negative 1. So applying the negative exponent law, ibababa natin to make it positive. or that is 1 half. 1 all over 2. If x is 0 and a number raised to 0 except 0 is 1. So that is 1. If x is equal to 1, then we have y is equal to 2 raised to 1 or 2. If x is equal to 2, then we have y is equal to 2 squared, we have 4. Right here, 4. And if x is equal to 3, then we have y is equal to 3 squared or, I mean, 2 cubed or 2 times 2 times 2, we have 8. We write here 8. So that is the equivalent table of values for the given function. So for us to represent this using its graph, syempre kailangan nating mag-draw ng ating Cartesian plane. So this will be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. This will be positive 1, positive 2, and positive 3. So sa taas, we have hanggang kay 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if x will be negative 3, y will be 1, 8. So let's just assume na dito yung point na yun. If x is negative 2, y will be 1, 4. So itataas natin ng konti. If x is negative 1, y will be 1 half. So kalahati niya. Tataas natin ng konti. If x is 0, y will be 1. So dito siya. If x is 1, y will be 2. If x is 2, y will be 4. And if x is 3, y will be 8. So after plotting the points obtained from our table of values, we connect the dots. So this is our graph for the function f of x is equal to 2 raised to x. So our equation, our table of values, and our graph. Okay, so as you can see, if the base is greater than 1, the graph is increasing. Okay, pataas siya. Understood? For the third example, represent the exponential function given by f of x is equal to 1 half raised to x using equation, table of values, and graph. For the solution, watch this video. In this example, we represent the exponential function f of x is equal to 1 half raised to x using its equation, table of values, and graph. So, same process doon sa ating isang example na mas naunang example. We just replace f of x using y to obtain its equation. So, y will be 1 half raised to x. Yan yung ating equivalent equation. For our TOV or table of values, of course, we construct table. So we just use the same x values that we used in the previous example. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and we have 3. So para ma-obtain yung y values, isa-substitute natin yung mga numbers na nandito sa taas doon sa ating variable x. So if x is equal to negative 3, then we have y is equal to 1 half raised to negative 3. So, alam natin na si 1 half, pwede siyang i-write as 2 raised to negative 1. Since positive yung exponent niya, pwede natin gamitin yung negative exponent rule. So, itataas natin siya to make this negative. And then, we have here negative 3. So, a power, naka-raise na naman to another power, we just multiply the exponent. So, negative 1 times negative 3 is, we have positive 3, or that is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So, 8 ito. If x is equal to negative 2, then we have y is equal to 1 half raised to negative 2. So, si 1 half pwede siyang i-write as 2 raised to negative 1. Then may negative 2 sa labas. We just multiply their exponents. We have 2 raised to 2, or we have positive 4. So we have, if x is equal to -1, then we have y will be 1 half raised to -1. So that is 1 half can be written as 2 raised to -1, and then may -1 sa labas ulit. We have 2 raised to -1 is 2 raised to 1, or we have 2. So we write here 2. If x is equal to 0, alam naman natin na any number raised to 0 except kay 0 ay 1. So 1 half raised to 0, that is 1. So we write here 1. If x is 1, then we have y is equal to 1 half raised to 1. This is still 1 half. If x is equal to 2, then we have y is equal to 1 half squared. Applying the law of exponent, pwede natin i-distribute yung exponent sa numerator at denominator. We have 1 squared over 2 squared. So that is 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. So this is 1/4. And lastly, if x is equal to 3, then we have y is equal to 1 half raised to 3. So pwede i-distribute yung exponent sa numerator and denominator. Simplifying further, we have 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8. This is 1 all over 8. So, for the graph, syempre kailangan nating mag-draw ng ating Cartesian plane. So, this will be -3, -1, -2, -3, +1, 2, and 3. And dito, hanggang 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If x is -3, y will be here, +8. If x is -2, y will be +4. Dito siya. So, para makita ninyo kung paano siya na-plot. It's like this. If x is -2, y will be +4. If x is -1, y will be +2. Dito siya. If x is 0, y will be 1. Dito yung point na yun. If x is 1, y will be 1 half. And then, if x is 2, 1/4. And then yung isa kay 1 all over. So, after plotting the points, we connect the dots. After connecting the dots, we include arrow. Kasi it means continuous siya pataas at continuous din siya sa direction na to. Okay, so our answer will be this one, the equation, the table of values, and then the graph. So kung napansin niyo, kapag yung base ay in between 0 and 1, just like this, 1/2 siya, decreasing yung ating graph. Understood? For the activity, you do this supplemental activity 3.2, represent the exponential function given by f of x is equal to 3 raised to x using equation, table of values, and graph. Submission of all outputs will be until Monday.